Niall here from Death Store, and I'm going to show you how I got to Champions League using GoVaPe, a Valkyrie-based strategy. If you take a look at this unit, it's pretty much stat-wise like a mini P.E.K.K.A. Good attack, decent HP, but the thing that makes the Valkyrie unique is her splash damage. And her AI, despite saying any, is really more complicated than that. She's going to seek out areas where her splash damage will take on multiple buildings at a time. The counterpart here, P.E.K.K.A. in this team, is a 25 housing space, so it's a bigger unit, has the highest DPS in the game of the single attacking unit. Should not be underestimated. About as strong as taking your Barbarian King into battle. These two units do a pretty darn good job of dealing with heroes as well. Let's take a look at this combination in action. I always start with the golem on the left and the right, and I closely follow with 3 or 4 wizards to clear buildings on the side of the path I want. If you take a look here, I paused the video and circled where I was deploying those units. And now I'm going to drop the P.E.K.K.A. and they're going to follow that path that I highlighted earlier. Wall breakers to get them inside, Valkyrie following close behind. And now I'm going to slow it down because I'm going to drop my jump spell really soon here. And that jump spell is going to create a direct line to the core there. Now, I did a little bit of a mistake here because I should have dropped that jump spell just a little bit sooner. But as you can see here, my units are rushing into the core. And I drop a rage right in the middle of that core, and it's going to go down really fast. I'll get more into this later, but as you can see, the clan castle troops there deployed to meet my troops, and they actually acted as a draw to make sure that my units went into the core and attacked what I wanted them to attack. And now we'll just speed up the video as my troops make quick work of what has remained of this particular base. So next we're going to look at a southern teaser base and look at another 100% I got on my road to champs. Again, golems left, right, clearing a path where I want my P.E.K.K.A. and Valkyrie to go. If you look there, the blue lines represent how wide I want that path to be. And the reason for that is if the Valkyries scatter too much, they get picked off pretty easy by defenses. If it's too narrow, you don't really take good advantage of that splash damage. A runway about that size and width is very good for Valkyrie because they do a lot of damage and they go directly where you want them to go. I'm going to slow down the video as I drop that jump spell, and I'm going to follow it with a rage as they enter into that wide, more open area, and that is to maximize its effectiveness. Closely following that, I'm going to hit that Inferno with a freeze spell to try to cut off that DPS to my units. Now if you look here, I'm going to try to get the Archer Queen in my next freeze spell. Heroes are actually pretty easy to take down if you can land a freeze on top of them, because the P.E.K.K.A. deal lots of damage and Valkyrie do splash, so they'll still deal damage to the surrounding buildings. As you look there, now I'm pretty much just wiping that center area out because I went and took that path in the southern teaser, so there isn't much to stop my units from advancing now. They have cleared out the basically guts of the base already. Now we're going to take a look at a base that isn't so ideal for GoVaPe. Now, I still get the win, but if you look here, the middle is very segmented with narrow compartments. But again, golems left and right, and these wizards and golems are going to be very critical in picking up that 50%. Again, here's my runway. The blue arrow showing where I want my Valkyrie to go. And on a base like this, it'd be very tempting to drop my jump so that I open up more of the compartments. Problem with that is that the Valkyrie would just scatter, and there's a good chance they may not go where you really need them to go. So sometimes it's not a good idea to drop the jump where you'll open up multiple compartments. Rather, just open it where you want your Valkyrie to go. So again, slowing it down as I drop my jump and my rage, so you can see how my timing works there. And this time you're going to see some clan castle troops come out in the path of the Infernos. And I'm going to drop my freeze to try to get some of those units. The reason I didn't wait for all of them to deploy is that that could take too long. But I did activate my king there so that I get some barbarians to take them out. And if you look here now, my units are going to make short work of that core, but as you can see here, they're not going to be able to get out of the core. And this is often where you can get the town hall, but not get the 50%. Fortunately, I have enough units firing, I have my queen active, and she picks up that 50%. I'm going to show you another raid on a base that's ideal for GoVaPe. Again, units to the left and the right. Unfortunately, my golems get sucked in, so my wizards do get picked off, but this is a great base to use GoVaPe on. As you can see, I deploy my P.E.K.K.A there spread out. The reason I deploy my P.E.K.K.A first is because they'll start taking damage, and with my Valkyrie AI, my Valkyrie will rush ahead of those P.E.K.K.A. Now, again, I'm going to slow down the video as I drop my jump and then my rage. And one thing here is I was intending to use that clan castle troop to pull my troops in, which is why I had it circled earlier. That didn't happen, but fortunately I still have enough units to go directly into the core to clear it out. Sometimes in a situation like this, you can have your units go down the sides instead of down the middle here. And again, I'm jumping that rage right in the center of all the action. And my units are going to have a pretty easy time just clearing that hog ring and destroying all those buildings. They don't pick up more than 2 stars, but they do significant damage to the base. And finally, the base that got me into Champions League. It's an obvious trap base, but I took my chances on the bottom because the defenses were so condensed on top. And I deploy my golems on either side actually to distract the heroes, and hopefully my wizards take them out pretty quick. Now I drop my P.E.K.K.A, and the reason I do drop my P.E.K.K.A first and why it's a good idea to have them take damage initially is that when my Valkyrie rush ahead, they'll start taking damage instead, and both units survive a little longer. So there I deploy my Valkyrie, and soon you'll see the clan and castle troops starting to come out. And I'm going to try to drop my freeze to capture some of those clan castle troops. If I wait for all the troops to come out, my Valkyrie and other units will take too much damage waiting for that first freeze spell to land. So instead I'm going to try to wait for my second freeze and get the rest of the clan castle troops in that. The reason for this is that if you have a clan castle and nothing but archers is coming out, it can be problematic because the Valkyrie still have a chance that they'll just try to take the units out one at a time, which is a big problem. If you look here, once the clan castle troops go down, the splash damage of the Valkyrie made quick work of that core. This ended up being a real close one, as I didn't have a high percentage after clearing the core, but I have just enough units left to pick up that 50%. This has been a Death's Door and Death's Angel production, Clash Academy series. Special thanks to all the forum members and other players who joined our Valhalla event clan and made it the success it was. Thanks for getting me into Champions League. You guys were awesome. It was a lot of fun. Thanks so much.